Coordinates: 7 degrees north 81 degrees east, 7 degrees north 81 degrees east, 781 Sri Lanka, formerly known as Ceylon, and officially the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, is an island country in South Asia. It is situated on the Indian Ocean, southwest of the Bay of Bengal, and southeast of the Arabian Sea, while being separated from the Indian subcontinent by the Gulf of Mannar and the Palk Strait. Sri Jayawardhanepur Quarter is its legislative capital, and Colombo is its largest city and financial center. Sri Lanka's documented history spans 3,000 years, with evidence of prehistoric human settlements dating back at least 125,000 years. It has a rich cultural heritage, and the first known Buddhist writings of Sri Lanka, the Pali Canon, date back to the Fourth Buddhist Council in 29 BCE. Its geographic location and deep harbors made it of great strategic importance from the time of the ancient Silk Road through to the modern maritime Silk Road. Its location as a major trading hub made it known to both the Far East as well as to Europe from as far back as the Anuradhapura period. The country's trade in luxury goods and spices attracted traders of many nations, creating Sri Lanka's diverse population. During a period of great political crisis, the Portuguese, whose arrival in Sri Lanka was largely accidental, sought to control the island's maritime regions and its lucrative external trade. The Portuguese possessions were later taken over by the Dutch. The Dutch possessions were then taken by the British, who later extended their control over the whole island, colonizing it from 1815 to 1948. A national movement for political independence arose in the early 20th century. And in 1948, Ceylon became a republic and adopted its current name in 1972. Sri Lanka's recent history has been marred by a 26-year civil war, which ended decisively when the Sri Lanka Armed Forces defeated the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam in 2009. Sri Lanka is a multinational state, home to diverse cultures, languages, and ethnicities. The Sinhalese form the majority of the nation's population, and the large minority of Tamils have also played an influential role in the island's history. While Moors, Burghers, Malays, Chinese, and the indigenous Veda are also established groups, it has had a long history of international engagement. As a founding member of the SAARC, and a member of the United Nations, the Commonwealth of Nations, the G77, and the Non-Aligned Movement, Sri Lanka is the sole South Asian country rated high on the Human Development Index, with the highest per capita income in the region. In antiquity, Sri Lanka was known to travelers by a variety of names. According to the Mahavamsa, the legendary Prince Vijaya named the island Tambapanni was used to designate the whole island in Sangam literature. The island was known under Chola rule as Mamudi Cholamandalam. Ancient Greek geographers called it Taprabana from Sanskrit Simhaladvipa, sea love. The name given to Sri Lanka by the Portuguese Empire when it arrived in 1505 was transliterated into English as Ceylon. As a British Crown colony, the island was known as Ceylon. It achieved independence as the Dominion of Ceylon in 1948. The country is now known in Sinhala as Sri Lanka and in Tamil as Ilankai. In 1972, its formal name was changed to Free, Sovereign and Independent Republic of Sri Lanka. Later, on the 7th of September 1978, it was changed to the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. As the name Ceylon still appears in the names of a number of organizations, the Sri Lanka government announced in 2011 a plan to rename all those over which it has authority. The prehistory of Sri Lanka goes back 125,000 years and possibly even as far back as 500,000 years. The era spans the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and early Iron Ages. Among the Paleolithic human settlements discovered in Sri Lanka, Pahiyangala are the most important. In these caves, archaeologists have found the remains of anatomically modern humans which they have named Balangoda, man, and other evidence suggesting that they may have engaged in agriculture and kept domestic dogs for driving game. The earliest inhabitants of Sri Lanka were probably ancestors of the Veda people, an indigenous people numbering approximately 2,500 living in modern-day Sri Lanka. During the proto-historic period, Sri Lanka was culturally united with southern India and shared the same megalithic burials, pottery, iron technology, farming techniques and megalithic graffiti. This cultural complex spread from southern India along with Dravidian clans such as the Velia. Prior to the migration of Prakrit speakers, one of the first written references to the island is found in the Indian epic Ramayana, which provides details of a kingdom named Lanka that was created by the divine sculptor Vishwakarma. For Kubera, the lord of wealth, it is said that Kubera was overthrown by his demon stepbrother Ravana. According to the Mahavamsa, a Pali chronicle written in the 5th cent.